you
don't call
brought
these
up
people
Dumbo.
overly
Okay, stop.
sensitive.
So
You're offended by Dumbo, okay? We all have something that we're offended by that other cultures will not understand.
Welcome to YouTube's favorite K-pop show, DK News.
Danny Kim.
David Kim.
Sarah.
What is up, ducks?
Quack,
Quack, quack.
Today we have lots and lots of hot
That's
ass
tea.
tea for you. First off, we have BigHit implementing face tickets and everybody's pissed.
Second, Hyuna is under some fire because she has braids.
And last but not least, we have Chen. We have anti-Chen protests.
Okay, on to the first
news.
BigHit is implementing face tickets, and this causes a huge debate on the internet.
Why is this causing debate? Let's
What?
start.
On March
Okay.
7th
Fill me up.
and 8th, T is holding a fan meet, and on January 16th, BigHit posted an announcement about this event that caused some debate on the web. On the announcement, BigHit revealed that they will utilize face tickets on the fan meet site, basically facial recognition technology to check if the ticket holders are the actual buyers of the tickets.
Wow.
Fans will have to register a picture of their face on BigHit's Weebly app, and this is an effort to cut down the resellers who buy tickets and sell them at a high premium.
About time.
Now, on the surface, it has good intentions like cutting down resellers, but obviously fans are concerned about the handling over their personal information to a company, and the hashtag face registration stop ignoring fans was trending on Twitter, calling for BigHit to get rid of the face tickets.
What? Oh
David
my.
obviously likes being monitored, and I think he should go to China, but this isn't the first time face recognition technology is being used at a concert. For example, 2018 Dream Concert, 2018 Korean Music Festival, 2018's Asian Artist Awards, and other big concerts have used it. International acts like Taylor Swift have also been testing with facial recognition technology, but usually when this happens, they've been met with some negative responses. So do you agree with facial recognition technology being used at concerts to stop resellers? 3, 2, 1. Oh, you guys should move to China.
Okay, let's
you
start
like being
this
monitored
debate.
so much.
Let the debate start. I think this is a general direction in the advancement of technology anyways. This is going to be the norm in a few years. It's stupid to argue that this is like infiltrating your private info and they're going to abuse your private info out of it. Because if you think of it in that way, like every single corporation, even a single app in your phone, every single like third-party app right now uses Face ID and stuff like that. Like my bank accounts, my everything, Kakao Talk, and everything uses it. Why don't you complain about them? And suddenly you're complaining to this BigHit concert just because they're trying to prevent this negative influx of these ticket prices due to resellers. And I think that's an amazing cause. That this would actually end the reselling problem, and real fans who desperately want to go but who have never been able to because of these tremendous prices will be able to go right now, rightfully. I think it's such a good cause, and there's no problem behind it. To go to Google and, burn their server or whatever if you're so
Yeah.
concerned about it.
Use Weibo.
Yeah.
Go to China, guys.
Okay, whatever.
You.
I don't think that giving a picture to BigHit is that big of a deal.
You better. The people who are worried about this better not have an Instagram
And
or
resale-
Facebook
to get-
account.
To get resale problems are a big problem.
You mentioned Face ID. Actually, Face ID is handled locally, so it never goes to a server. So it's completely different where you're giving a picture of your face onto the BigHit server. It's unclear how they'll be utilized. So it's not clear whether they'll be utilized for further purposes other than just this one face ticketing incident. What are
They
gonna-
make it clear in the terms. They'll be
No,
like,
of
we'll
course
just use it for this.
It will be
No.
discarded
For this,
after.
yeah. it will
Actually,
be-
why the fans are complaining is because it's not clear.
If there's this outroar, they're gonna come up with the amendments, and there will be those terms in there, of course. Like, it doesn't
Why is
make
everybody
sense.
so happy about like handing over their personal information?
No,
No,
this
it's
is
just
a
picture,
normal
though.
thing right
like
now.
if they ask for my social security number,
Exactly, this
and
is
like
worse.
my birthday and my picture and my passport number and everything, then I would have a problem with it. But if it's just my face to go with my name
I
and
know.
my birthday, then I don't think that's as big of a problem.
Well, there's a difference between handing over your birthday and maybe your name versus handing over your
picture?
picture of your face, because that leads to profiling. And there are cases where, like, say you were labeled a bad fan for some reason. I don't know. Then potentially
It's even better.
You can get rid of
You
the
can get rid of
sausage.
sasaengs. 1+1.
No, I mean, like, if you
Yeah,
have nothing
everybody,
to...
let's be
Well,
like
everyone
China
has their
and monitor every
opinion,
single
so let me
move.
know your
No,
opinion.
BigHit can't monitor every single
shut
move
up.
with a picture.
Next news.
Oh my god.
Hyuna is under some controversy because she has braids.
Oh no,
Braids?
not this
Braids.
again.
Have you ever had braids in your life before?
Like
Sarah?
when I was very young.
Oh,
Wow.
wow, Sarah
Canceled.
canceled. Oh
French
my
braids.
god.
We're appropriating black
Okay.
culture via French
No,
culture.
let's not be too sarcastic here and let's be neutral. Okay, so on the 17th, Hyuna uploaded a post on her Instagram with these pictures. These pictures immediately sparked up a battlefield in the comment section. Many international fans, especially black fans, criticized that it was cultural appropriation. Once this controversy became quite big, it became a trending hashtag on Twitter as well, and eventually Hyuna posted a video on her Instagram, and here is the video.
여러분들, 저는 이제 꿈나라에 가려고 합니다. 저는 절 사랑해주는 모든 팬들을 리스펙하고 존중하니까 너무 어렵고 나쁘게 생각하지 않았으면 해요. 서로를 이해하도록 합시다. 알았죠? Good night.
It's pretty obvious, considering the timing she uploaded it, that she was addressing about the braids controversy. And at the end, she did acknowledge the problem, but did not apologize directly, which led to a little more backlash and canceling movements on Twitter again. This news reached Korean news as well, and
really?
here are some Korean reactions to it. 현아 레게 머리 흑인 조롱 논란에 서로 이해합시다. Okay.
I think it's already very ignorant to call
Yeah.
it reggae body, reggae hair.
Article title itself is calling it reggae hair.
If you shave your head, are you mocking a monk?
That doesn't really have anything to do with
Well,
it.
this is how people perceive
You
it in
lose
Korea.
hair.
Are you mocking a Caucasian if you dye your hair blonde?
It's okay for black people to have straight hair, but it's racist for Asians to have reggae hair.
The question is Hyuna's hair cultural appropriation?
둘, 셋.
Wait, what?
I'm
Triangle?
question? What's the
Oh,
question?
everyone's
What's the question?
everyone's
What's the
playing it
question?
safe. Everyone's
Personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. But I guess if someone finds it cultural appropriation, then I guess for them it is cultural
Wow.
appropriation.
So
but at the
proud of
same
them.
time, I feel like we need to understand each other better in the sense that I think Hyuna should make an effort to understand why these people are pissed. And I think these people who are pissed should try to understand why Hyuna doesn't understand what they're going through. Because we live in different cultures, we live in different worlds, and everybody likes to say, oh, you can Google that shit. Well, can you Google, oh, why Koreans are offended by Dumbo? You can't Google that shit,
Dumbo
right?
again.
You didn't know why Koreans were offended by Dumbo until I told you so. It's kind of very ignorant on your side to tell like, oh, you could Google this shit. Oh, you went to America. How come you didn't know? It's very difficult to understand each other's sentiments and how their life experiences work.
Okay,
If you
okay.
haven't lived that
think
life
you should stop
experience.
there.
Okay, so anyway, what I'm trying to say is it's a triangle because, you know, I think I can understand from Hyuna's side as well as the people who are offended side. And you should watch my lecture on cultural appropriation.
nice.
I did a lecture at a university,
Wow.
and all the Koreans there didn't understand what cultural appropriation was. And by the end of the lecture,
I'm
everybody
so
was
proud of Danny.
like,
He
okay,
finally
I finally
learned.
understand.
He finally
I took
learned.
the analogy of Dumbo and got it to them.
Koreans, shut the fuck up. If you're offended by Dumbo, then you should shut the fuck up and stop
No.
calling these
Now
people.
you're going overboard. Your comment was perfect until
No,
you
you don't call
brought
these
up
people
Dumbo.
overly
Okay, stop.
sensitive.
So
You're offended by Dumbo, okay? We all have something that we're offended by that other cultures will not understand.
My commentary has been consistent from the start. As I always said, if there is someone who is offended, then we should listen to them and try to understand their side on why this is offensive. If it's in their culture and that kind of stuff, we should respect that to an extent. However, at the same time, as Danny said, there are other cultures as well, and other cultures have other thoughts and perspectives. And most importantly, in this case, in the inside, I don't think Hyuna thought like, oh, black hair is cool. Like, I want to use black hair to make myself cool as well. Like, I don't think she even had the thought that this was black black in the first place. In conclusion, neither side is right. We can't shove down each other's opinions on each other's throat, but at the end, communication is key. Everyone has to keep talking and keep interacting in order to make a consensus and a social understanding, and then make a social compromise at the end. So this is the step I take usually when I talk about specific topics that I don't know about, like feminism or like black culture or whatever.
What do you know about?
I don't know about it. So we actually have to interview and try to understand in that person's perspective. So I have a special guest waiting for you guys today.
Like I was saying before, it's kind of like a loaded answer because it's so complicated. Like for me, it's not complicated, but explaining it to someone who's not from the black culture, it's very complicated because I see on one side people are like, get over it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get it. It's just a hairstyle. A lot of black people were actually, made fun of. You know what I mean? Along with their skin color. They couldn't get jobs, or if you did get a job, you were looked at a certain way. There's a laundry list of things that happens when, black males and black females have that hairstyle. So it's so hard to put like a cultural appropriation because when you just think about anything, you talk about fashion, if you talk about music, if you talk about almost everything is touched by, black culture. So I'm not the type of person to be like, that's for my culture, you can't use it. That's not me. I know a lot of people do that with music. A lot of people do that with hairstyles, how we dress. Like, I like it on the mainstream. I like it to be shown off. I like it to be shared, But I do understand black people who are like, I've been made fun of my whole life and this, and I understand that. Like, I think it's more of just a respect thing. You know what I mean? If you have bad intentions, if you're really trying to steal something, then, I have a problem with that. But if you are truly paying homage, if you are truly excited and invigorated by the culture, then, by all means, let's share it. I would love to share my culture with you. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things, man. It's super complicated. I just really don't like people telling black people how to feel about their culture. And I'm down to share. That's like, those are my points right there. I'm down to share as long as everybody's cool, having fun, paying homage, and the intentions are good. I don't think Hyuna had bad intentions. I don't think Lisa from Blackpink had bad intentions. But that's how I kind of look at it.
Okay. Thanks for your opinion.
No problem.
Take care.
No problem, man. Anytime, man.
Yeah,
I was hearing it from Briss. Now it's time to hear it from a racist Korean. Why are you racist?
No, I'm not racist.
Tell me your racist thoughts.
I think that Hyuna did not have the intentions of cultural appropriation. I think that Hyuna just did it because she liked the dreads.
She straightened her hair at the end anyways.
She did?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Okay, so she understood that everyone was offended, and so she changed her hair.
She was on vacation with Dawn in Thailand, and obviously,
in Thailand they do a lot of
Thailand
this.
they do a lot of braids, and Lisa did braids like that before, and people were calling it Thai braids because she got it in Thailand, and she was on vacation, so she wanted the vacation vibes, but people came at her, and then she saw that and apologized, and then straightened her hair the next day.
Please don't cancel us. Please.
Next news.
Okay, last news.
Okay.
We have anti-Chen protests in Korea.
Oh.
Korean and international fans gathered in front of SM Town Co-X Atrium on the 19th, protesting for Chen to be kicked out of EXO. They gathered in black masks and hats, and they stepped on posters and books of Chen. They had warned the local authorities that 200 fans were going to show up to the protest. But on the day of the protest, guess how many fans showed up?
100.
200?
There was about 30 people who showed up.
That's underwhelming.
People on Twitter were obviously so frightened by the number of fans.
Laugh my ass out. So they really gonna turn themselves into a huge laughing stock at the SM Co-X Atrium? You had the guts to drag Chen out from the group, but you can't even expose your bitch faces at your own protest. You paybos. What's paybos?
바보구나.
Pablo.
Oh my god, the crowd is so big. I'm so scared.
Oh, so there was sarcastically being scared.
Wow, you just realized that.
At the protest, there was a banner saying, "There is no Chen in the future we see. We request the withdrawal of Chen from EXO for tainting the image of the group and breaking the trust of fans." An outraged fan said, "What's worse is that pregnancy is one of EXO's related keywords. He didn't even give us an apology to the fans who gave the members our love and money."
Why would he
Another fan from China said, "This announcement is inflicting harm on the member that I like." It is very unfair. Chen could do solo activities in the future. A lot of Chinese XOLs want Chen kicked out from the group.
Oh, here's when you say go back to China.
Oh.
Obviously, fans who support Chen quickly started to trend all these hashtags to show their support for Chen and EXO. Analyst Jung also added that these hot debates on whether an idol can get married or not is a natural phenomenon.
How the f- is that natural?
I think it's a natural phenomenon. There will be these kind of fans. I mean, if they're mad, they have the right to be mad because like they spent their time and money and they wanted an apology or some kind of consideration for their love. And I understand that feeling, but for the comments saying my solo member is getting affected by like you getting married, so you should get kicked out of the group. That's just being super selfish. In the core, fans are there to support the group and love the group. And as a human being as well. So if Chen wanted that and he's happy about it and he's planning his future, I think fans should accept that fact and support him and love his choice as well. Not only his visuals or not only the money or fame he brings to the group and stuff like that. So that's just being selfish at one point. I do understand why they can be mad, but going on to protest and like trying to kick him out, that's just too much. And as the Twitter comments said as well, like these people didn't even have the guts to show their own faces when they were.
Well, I don't think that's an obligation for a protest. Lots of
I know, but
while they protest.
I know, but still, like if they were that strong, like if they are going to alter one person's career.
30 people protesting in front of SM Town is not ruining anybody's life.
I know they have a strong motive in their own minds, and if they have that strong mentality, they should have the strong attitude enough to, I don't know, reveal their faces and be proud about their statements too. But obviously, they're not proud about their statements, and that's why they cover their faces up. So
that's a totally common thing to do in protests. The impeachment protest for the former president, lots of people were wearing masks. That doesn't mean that they're not believing in their the values of the protest. So I think it's completely fine. But they are ruining a life. We know whose life they're ruining? Their own life. they're ruining their own fucking life by being completely delulu and just believing in this bullshit that, I don't know, like Chen is theirs or whatever.
Disgracing EXO.
Yeah, I hope at least you have some like shares in SM stocks at least. Because if you believe that like you're this investor, I actually hope you're an actual investor, not just buying CDs and shit, but actually owning stocks.
That's exactly what I'm saying. They're ruining their life, and they know that they're ruining their life even more if they reveal their faces, and they know that fact, so they're embarrassed to reveal their faces. So why would they be there for something they're embarrassed about? So I don't understand. If they're so bold and strong about that, just like go on interviews on TV.
Well, I think that's a very dangerous thing to say for protests because
there
are feminist protests that have everybody covering their faces. Do you think those feminists don't believe in they're embarrassed?
No.
Oh, you just checkmate, bitch. Checkmate. No. I think you need to go to China. That's what you need to go. You like facial recognition and you like showing your face to protest so much. I think you should go to China.
I mean, it's okay. It's okay to cover your faces.
Oh, wow. Now you just change your
No, it's okay to cover your faces or not, but if you really have a strong belief enough to ruin someone's life, stick up to it. Don't be embarrassed about it and cover your faces.
So like feminists should stop covering their faces and protest.
like if they want to cover their faces, do it. Like and I think you have the wrong way of approaching this here because normally in Korea, in the West world, not a lot of people cover their faces. I know that for sure. But in Korea, normally the reasons why they cover their faces is because they'll get photographed and the media will circulate that and people will mock their appearances and they'll say insults about their appearances. Oh, she's fat, blah, 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 blah. And that's the main reason why they cover their masks. It's not because like they're not strong with their beliefs or whatever. So if they're really strong, if they're really bold about their beliefs in this and they don't care about what people think, then just why not reveal? So I don't think
they'll be mocked on the internet saying like, look at these delulus.
I mean, they could cover their faces because they don't want their pictures floating around on articles and
I don't even know why this is a topic of debate.
Okay, so that's not
you made it big. You made it big.
Point right now.
Yeah, why is covering the face?
I'm gonna cut this out.
There's some fault on K-pop labels themselves because they've been selling this boyfriend fantasy to a lot of these fans. I know a lot of fans don't believe in the boyfriend fantasy and they don't take it as such. They just enjoy the music and such. But there are these small group of fans that will be delulu, and they'll usually be the ones that are buying these hundreds of albums. Like, who do you think is buying hundreds of albums to meet some random stranger who, you know, happens to be a singer? Probably the Delulu fans, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, these K-pop labels know what they're doing. They know exactly what they're doing. So I think it's perfectly understandable to have backlash when they're the ones that have been, you know, fostering this kind of behavior and maybe even encouraging it. A lot of the normal fans, a lot of the actual like rational fans, you guys, the ducks, the smart people, like to think like, oh, you know, what's so wrong with dating? It's perfectly fine. And I think it's perfectly fine too. If the company themselves thought that they weren't doing the boyfriend fantasy thing, and if they thought that they weren't marketing it in such a way, then why do you think they never revealed any dating rumors?
Yeah.
They don't confirm dating rumors. They almost always deny it immediately, right?
Yeah.
So like if they were indeed thinking that, oh, it's fans love us for the music and we're only selling the music and the performances, then obviously those things would not happen. Like those PR incidents where, oh, we actually, no one's dating, everybody's still a virgin. that kind of incidents would never happen. I think SM knows exactly what they're doing, and they're like, okay, yeah, whatever, like 30 people showed up, who cares?
Yeah.
Support him for who he is.
But we support Chen and
yeah,
EXO.
yeah. Support EXO. Obsession is so good.
Okay.
And
support us.
Yes.
On Patreon.
Patreon.com/DKDKTV. Today my podcast is gonna be uploaded, and it's about this guy who faked Tourette's, earn clout and views and money. He's a cosplayer now. Who dresses like a female. He's the
So you
funniest
could
dude
get
on
to
the
hear
internet.
The weirdest shit.
You could get the
weirdest
weirdest
Like,
shit.
what the fuck kind of
Entertainment
stories?
entertaining content on patreon.com/DKDKTV.
And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye bye.